Hey, everybody. Welcome to my very first live. Now, this is kind of crazy. I've never done a YouTube live before, but I heard nothing but great things about YouTube live. And maybe some people will join me, maybe not. But I wanted to hop on. I thought it was an appropriate day to do a live. I have nothing technical to talk about, and have nothing to really teach. But today is my 30th birthday, and I can't believe it. Cannot believe it. It feels like I was just turning 22. So, it's kind of crazy how it creeps up on you. But I love it. I feel great at 30. Back in the day, I thought that turning 30 I would feel so much older. I'd have like a short haircut. I would feel like super extra mature and all these weird things that you think about when you when you hit that 30. But yeah, my body still feels good. I still feel young. I nothing's like super old, but yeah, I just wanted to reflect on a few things and talk about a few things really that I've learned more so in the past 2 years of my life. But yeah, thank you all for saying happy birthday. Happy third birthday. And yeah, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. But so let's see, just reflections after 30 years of life. My 20s were super amazing, and I'm so grateful for them. And I'm like very excited today because if my 20s were that great and I didn't really like know myself or know what I wanted to be, I think that my 30s are going to be just outstanding and out of this world. So much stuff to coming right up to accomplish, and so many people to help and all that good stuff. But um okay, so let's talk about, for those of you that aren't familiar with my background, I went the traditional way in life. I went to college. I graduated college from Sacramento State in 2011. I got my degree in civil engineering. So I became a civil engineer. I worked for the Department of Transportation, and I was a bridge engineer. And so I was a bridge engineer and worked for the Federal Highway Administration for about 6.5 years. And I got to a point when I was 26 ish where I moved up pretty fast in my career. And I'm like, I'm not really sure exactly what to do. And I'm like, well, I might as well get my master's so I can seem smarter and, have more technical expertise. And that was not, the master's was definitely not the best investment, because it just felt like an extension of undergrad, and it was the same thing. I probably retained 5% or less of whatever I learned in school. Anyways, so I became interested in entrepreneurship when I was 28 years old, because back in the day, meaning 27 years old or 28 years old and younger, I didn't even think entrepreneurship was possible for me, because I just never knew it was an option. No one ever told me, like, you can build a business. I always thought business was scary and risky and had no clue what I would even go into business for. But then in September, hey, thank you everybody for telling me happy birthday. I'll reply to all comments, I promise. But thank you guys so much. So yeah, what was I saying? In Europe, I'm sorry, in the summer of 2016, I went on this 3-week trip to Europe with my family, my mom, dad, and two younger sisters. And we went to London, Italy, and Greece, beautiful countries. And I realized in that trip a couple things. One, we work like, you know, we're very much so like what's the word? Not workhorses, but we are all about work here in the US. Work is kind of what we're expected to do when we hit a certain age. We work hard and we work long hours and we work a lot and we don't get much vacation. And when I went to Europe, people seemed kind of opposite. Like they worked hard, but they also got lots of breaks. They have extended vacations, and they get like what are they called in the middle of the day? Siestas, or I'm probably saying it wrong. But it was just kind of a different mode of life, a different way. Like people were very excited to just kind of live in the moment and be present and be excited about what's going on today and not really worry about work. I mean, like here in the US also we worry so much about smaller things. Like if we don't pay a bill on time or if we get a speeding ticket or whatever it is, like our whole life kind of ends. It's just like, oh, and we worry about a whole lot of stuff. And so I also realized a lot of that when I was in Southeast Asia. Their mentality is just very different. People of all different, income levels and, whatever they're doing for work, they're just very happy. And that was really, really cool to see when I was living in, Thailand and Bali, Indonesia. So a lot of perspective gained in my travels. Anyway, so I went to Europe in 2016 and I thought to myself, wow, I need to figure out how I can travel the world more, how to get paid doing it, and how I can leave my career and not work for the government anymore. Not that there's anything wrong, not that I was ungrateful. I just knew I wanted more. And so that's kind of what happened. I started digging around on the internet and I just kind of started thinking about where I wanted to go in life. And then the craziest thing, somebody presented me with a network marketing opportunity. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's build this business. And I was reading all the first entrepreneurial books and I was like, yeah, we're going to build this business. Then I, going down the rabbit hole, researching um, researching network marketing and how to do that, I found online marketing and I found affiliate marketing. So I tried affiliate marketing in like early 2017. And oh man, I had no clue what I was doing. Literally no clue. I didn't know how to generate leads. Like I didn't even know what a lead was when I first got started. So yeah, it was a miserable failure. I, invested into some higher ticket things to sell and I wasn't successful. So that's fine. Yeah, whatever. My first crack at affiliate marketing, I sucked. So, for you guys that are beginning, like we've all been there. Everybody that you see on YouTube who's, crushing it or wherever, you see people that are having successful affiliate marketing business, we've all started at the same place, and that is not knowing anything and not having any business skills. So don't worry, you will get there. Just keep pushing. But anyways, so I started affiliate marketing, failed. Then I got into e-commerce. So I built some Shopify stores and I did really well. Was able to I was able to actually hit the six-figure mark in revenue with my e-com businesses. And it actually, people were like, well, you had a lot of success, but what people don't know is I invested a lot of money in mentors. Did I need to invest that much with mentors? I mean, we're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. And no, you don't. But I had a huge benefit from investing in mentors because they did streamline my learning curve and I was able to learn a lot of things more quickly, right? So, and on the flip side, I was able to be a teacher. Like people actually came to me for coaching for e-commerce, and I was able to teach people and make money from teaching e-commerce. So it was kind of cool. So then I had it. So later in 2017, December-ish, I got pretty burnt out with e-commerce. I'm not gonna lie, because I was frustrated with some of the vendors with AliExpress. I was also doing print on demand, but I was getting frustrated at the lower profit margin with print on demand. And because with AliExpress, the profit margin's way bigger, but with print on demand, it's a lot smaller. You're working with a lot smaller, and there's a lot less room for error when you're doing print on demand. So anyways, I got frustrated with the drop shipping vendors, the low quality products not arriving to people on time. And I was like, you know what, I'm burnt out. And I was also mostly frustrated with Facebook. I was getting so upset with, the algorithm changes and the increase in traffic costs. And, I was like, well, I'm going to kind of put ecom to the side. So I sold my stores. I gave ecom a break, and I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? So my boyfriend and I, we started a brand together, and we wanted to offer some type of service, right? Because online, you could either market your own services, have a service, be a service-based business, or you can go the affiliate marketing route and get your feet wet with selling other people's products. And so my boyfriend and I were like, yeah, we're going to create a brand. We're going to coach people and help them build their online business. It was geared towards coaching. And this is the honest truth. Like, we created a webinar, we set up our offer, and it was a great offer. We made a couple sales, and we ran Facebook ads to this offer. And but it didn't work. Like, we failed. It didn't work out like we thought it would. And so we had to go back to the drawing board, because if we would have kept promoting and kept trying to make this brand work, we were going to start losing money. So most people don't know. Um, most people don't know that earlier this year, I actually was having zero income. Okay. It was a scary time in my life, because people see you living a great life on social media. People see, the success you've had in business in the past, but that's what entrepreneurship is about, ups and downs. And this was a very much so down part of my career. Earlier this year, I didn't have income for at least a month and a half, maybe almost two. And I'm just like, holy shit, I need to figure this out. I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I was stressed every single day waking up. I was having to pay credit card debt. I was having to pay bills, and there was nothing coming in. So I'm just like, what am I going to do? Um, so one day I actually thought about my brand, and I thought about my success online, and I thought about everything I had learned from e-commerce and the lessons I did learn from failing at affiliate marketing for the first time. And I'm like, I know everything there is to know to build an online business. So what I did was, I'm like, everybody on YouTube that's growing their YouTube channels, they're no different than me. The only difference is they're taking action every single day, and they're putting in work to build their YouTube channels. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do the exact same thing. So that's how I started. I started building my YouTube channel literally in mid-March of 2018. So today's August 7th, 2018, my birthday, if you came into this video late. But yeah, so that's what, April, May, June, July. That's almost 5 months I've been building my channel. So I started around 300 subs, and now I'm at 99,500 subs on YouTube. Crazy. Like, mind-blowingly amazing. I'm so grateful for the growth I've had. It's insane. But what I realized was YouTube was like my number one choice for generating leads, driving traffic, and I'm like, I have to get my brand going, because what I realized is growing your brand, your personal brand, or at least a brand, growing a brand online, preferably your personal brand, because at some point you're going to need to grow your personal brand, is the number one asset you can have for yourself. And in generating leads and creating an audience and giving value, it's super important to consider YouTube. So that's what I did every single day. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a video. I'm going to commit to this for 90 days. So that's exactly what I did. If nothing got done on a certain day, if I just lost it and just didn't do anything for my business, a YouTube video got created and filmed and edited and uploaded, no matter where I was. And I remember there was one point where we were on an island off of Bali, and the internet was crap. But I remember I'm like, I have to upload. I have to upload on my YouTube. And so I it took like 9 hours to upload an 11-minute video, but it got uploaded, and I was just like, whew, okay. Because with YouTube, it's like a snowball effect. If they see your consistency, they're going to send you traffic, and therefore you're going to get leads and sales to your business. So they reward consistency like crazy. It's insane. But let's see if I have any questions. This card, you realize there's more to life. Yes. How do you promote the products? Did you use AliExpress? Okay. So thank you guys for commenting, and I will reply to all of them. But I wanted to get to some of the title of this video is actually my reflections after 30 years. So it's going to be more of on that and not really technical and about business. So hopefully you guys get something out of the next couple points I'm going to make. And so the first and foremost thing is mindset, and what that really means, because people think, okay, yeah, mindset, I'm going to read books, I'm going to listen to audios, but it goes beyond that, and having a really deep belief in yourself that you can really do this, and that you're constantly visualizing the point in time where you want to be and not your current circumstances now. Because if you keep focusing on your debt or your current situation or how you hate your job or your 9 to 5, your mind does not grow. Because if you're focusing so much on the negative things that you want to be changed, those things are good, that's feeding that energy. It's going to continue to cultivate the negative things in your life. And so when I was at the point where I was making no income and I was stressed, and a couple of times I cried a few times. It was crappy. And I was like, oh, like I suck and this and that. And it was very, very bad self-talk. Um, and no matter what, audios I listened to and books I read, if you don't start talking positively to yourself, and if you're not imagining your abundance and your success right now, then it's not going to work. And so that is why it's very, very hard for people to not, that's why the first year of entrepreneurship is the hardest, probably maybe even the first 2 years, is because you're having that constant battle with yourself, and your self-talk is sometimes very low. And so we're all, before people pre-entrepreneur days, we don't really realize the importance of self-talk and mindset, and how our self-talk really affects our mindset. If you say, like in sports, if you say, let's say you play softball, whatever, and you say, dude, I suck at batting, I was super slow yesterday, you're going to continue to be in those batting slumps, and you're not going to be able to hit the ball because of the self-talk. But when you are able to switch that around, right, switch the mindset around, and really focus on the positive things in your life and the positive progress you're making. Yes, on top of audios and on top of books and all that positive stuff, that is where the change really happens. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. Um, so yeah, that was the first thing, is mindset, right? And so the next thing I wanted to talk about was failure. And so why failure is so important is because if you guys aren't failing, you're not progressing. And it's crazy, because since we're younger, we're taught that failure is so bad. And that's why people in, growing up in school, middle school, high school, kids are terrified of failing, because we're scolded and we're punished for failure our whole lives, right? And that transfers over to our business and entrepreneurship, and we think that if we fail, it's bad, and we want to punish ourselves by having all these negative thoughts. But once I realized that failure was what everyone needs and how you do succeed, it started to like really make me feel good. When I failed and something didn't work, when I set up a funnel and it didn't convert, I'm like, all right, cool, no big deal. Same thing with like money. If you invest money, obviously I'm not saying that not spend your money wisely, but if you invest money into something and it didn't go as planned, or you lost your money or whatever, for me, my thought process was always, all right, it's just money. Money comes and goes. All right. You can always manifest more money. Just keep going. And so with understanding that that failure are your stepping stones to where you want to get. That is another thing that tremendously helped me in these last couple years of my entrepreneurial journey. All right, so failure is good. Don't worry about it. Do not sweat the small stuff. Learn, take your lessons learned from failure and just move on. All right, guys? And then, oh, here's another weird one. It's kind of crazy. But this is faking it till you make it. We've all heard of like what faking it till you make it, like you shouldn't fake it till you make it. And you shouldn't. Here's what you should not do. The traditional term of faking it till you make it means when you're just starting out online and you have really no clue what you're doing, but you're acting like you already have success. So you're faking it till you make it is like, going and renting that big house or that car and acting like it's yours and using it for leverage. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. You're faking it till you make it, and you have really nothing to back that up on. But so I don't advise doing that. Don't fake any income proof. Don't fake the houses, the cars. That's so stupid. I heard someone the other day tell a friend of mine like they need to rent an Audi or they need to have success fast, like within the next 2 months, so that they can get an Audi so that they could use it for leverage. And I'm just like, oh my God, eye roll, right? That is so dumb. Yes, when you are rich and have the mansions and have everything for real, yes, you could use it as leverage. But when you don't do that. Don't go down that route, because that's just not good. But anyway, and then I told the guy to tell the guy, like, hey, just tell him to go rent a Maserati, get like 12 outfits and take pictures in front of a car and use it as a leverage. See how well that works out for you, right? But here's where faking it till you make it comes in handy. Um, you need everyone. This is what slows people down, is because people don't really start out with having courage in entrepreneurship. That is something that I encourage you to fake it until you make it. Because if you don't have that courage, then you're not going to take those leaps and those steps every day. Prime example, going back to when I was an engineer, I was starting out, and when I got into the workplace, all the engineers were like seasoned, like white men mostly. They had years of experience under their belt. I had no clue what I was doing. I was super intimidated because I was a female and I was brown, and they probably thought I knew nothing. But I had to go into those meetings that we had about construction projects or whatever it was, and I literally had to fake it. I had to fake that I knew what I was talking about. I had to be strong, even if I was wrong, strong and wrong. And I had to just go out there and just do it, just go for it. And people appreciated it. And actually, I got compliments like, "Hey, Marissa, that was a great, point that you made in that meeting." I'm like, "It was." So it's like you have to have that courage, even though deep down you're not you may not feel confident. You have to have courage to put yourself out there and give value, because if you don't, you're always going to get stuck and you're not going to move on and do those things. Another example, like um let's say you are wanting to start a social media agency, right? To get those first clients, it's going to take, some groundwork. It's going to take you to kind of just go out to businesses and put yourself out there. And that takes a whole lot of courage, because, you probably know how to run Facebook ads and set up a sales funnel for a company, but it takes the courage. If you don't have any money to advertise yourself, it takes courage to go out to businesses and say, hey, like, look, this is what I can do for you. This is what I provide, this, and that, let me run a campaign for you for a free week trial. This, and that definitely takes courage. And that's another example of, faking it till you make it. And the same thing goes for like YouTube. People tell me all the time, well, like, I get stuck with content. I don't know what to say. like people aren't going to learn. It's not about that. It's about going out there, finding a topic. Let's say you're just learned about email marketing. Make a video on email marketing, saying like, 3 tips to for email marketing for beginners. You could make it up yourself, or you can find a similar video, learn something about it, and then just reteach it. All right. That's the whole point of education, is just regurgitating the information and putting it in your own language. That's what content is about. If you like are brand new and are kind of stuck with topics, like get inspiration from other videos and just go out there and do it. So, and that kind of brings me to my one of my last points. I don't know if I have any other points. Those are kind of my thoughts for today and reflecting back on some of the things. The other thing was analysis paralysis, and that kind of goes with having courage and getting started. This training is over, or when such and such is over, then I can get started, or I'm gonna wait until I have this funnel perfect and I have a lead magnet and da da da, things that take weeks and weeks. Like, no, just get going today. Like, things don't have to be perfect. You can mess up in videos, you can mess up on your funnels, you can mess up on your email broadcasts. I've messed up several times in all of those things, right? But who cares? We all make mistakes. That's part of having courage and part of just learning in general. So those are the things that I wanted to say. I have them written down. But yeah, mindset, failure, faking it till you make it, courage, not cars and mansions. And then analysis paralysis. Just get started, even if it's not perfect. So let's see. I don't know. I have a question that I'll answer because it's not like technical and businessy. From Wendy, she says, "What was your process to quit your government job?" Well, that was a crazy day actually. But what happened was I actually, and I haven't really came out with this story yet. Like I haven't really talked about it, but what happened was I actually got the opportunity to work at a internet marketing college, I guess you can call it, in Scottsdale, Arizona. So at that point, I'm like, wow, it would be a huge pay cut, me going from making $80,000 a year as an engineer, and then this internet marketing college, they offered me like pennies compared to that. It was like worse than like an internship paying job. But I decided to leave my government job, my engineering job, and work at this place because I'm like, okay, cool. I could learn I could learn e-commerce, I could learn Shopify, Facebook ads, all this stuff. My network, it'll build up my network because there's, entrepreneurs that work there, and there's masterminds held there all the time. So I got the opportunity to work there basically as a entrepreneur, is what they called it, kind of like a um, entrepreneur intern kind of type thing. And so that day, I'm like, I had to make a decision really quick. So I decided to take the offer, and I actually gave my government job like a 1 week's notice. I felt so bad, but it was something I had to do. So that was the first leap I took, right? So I started working at the Internet Marketing College in March of 2017. I worked there for 3 months, and I started to see a lot of success with e-commerce and learning, some of the things I was taught there. So um, I was starting to have a lot of success in my e-com store. So after 3 months, things weren't really going as I thought towards the end of my time there, and things got a little complicated there. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm out. I gave my 2 weeks notice, and I'm just like, I'm going to try this thing on my own. So I said goodbye to the 9 to 5 in June. I think it was June 17th, 2017. So I've been 9 to 5 free for about 14 months as of today. And so that's what happened. And that's the other thing about analysis paralysis and the fear. I think the fear of failure and the fear of what could happen is way worse than actually being in that situation. Because once you're in that failure situation, or once you're in that circumstance that you were fearing so much, it's not that bad. You get through it like really well, because as humans, like we're wanting to make our circumstance better, and being in a circumstance that's like, shitty or not favorable, it's not that bad once you're actually in that situation. So that was kind of crazy. So I went the hardest part, I think, when I went from a job to no job and just managing my business full time on my own, was definitely time management. And I had to really, focus on the income producing activities, because that's obviously what brought in the income. And that was hard. That was hard. And also, you think like once you quit your job, you're going to have all this time, and you don't. You actually have no time. You can easily find yourself working 13-hour days, and just focusing on your business. Guys, I still work every single day pretty much. See, it's my birthday, and I'm going live, and I'm working, and I'm replying to emails and replying to comments. And I'm not afraid to say that, yeah, I'm at the point where I'm trying to scale out and outsource a few things that I shouldn't be doing anymore. So yeah, I still have a long way to go, a long way to go. But that's what it is when you go from your 9 to 5 to full-time entrepreneur. You are going to work every day. You should be working every day. So what else? There's something else I wanted to say. I think I wrote it down the other day, and it was something that really struck me about failure. Oh yeah. So the pain that I had when, because I know people, different entrepreneurs and their stories are super crazy and motivational. Like there's people that have had it way harder than I did first starting out. And that's why I'm grateful, of my experience and, my path to where I'm at now. Because I mean, some entrepreneurs you hear, they're so humbling, their stories, like you hear about them being homeless and having literally nothing, and just coming up and growing up in the circumstances up they came up from, like, maybe their parents were drug addicts or something crazy like that, or they were in jail. Entrepreneurs that are successful nowadays, a lot of them were previously in jail, and they're like, the ones that come out of jail are super successful. It's crazy. But anyway, so what I wanted to talk about was, oh, when I a big huge pain that I had when I was leaving my career was that, um people talk about the leap of faith and all that, and that's kind of the easy part, is taking the leap of faith and actually doing it, because that once it's done, it's done. But nobody really ever talks about the emotional baggage and pain that comes from, turning your back on the sacrifices other people have made for you. So like my parents sacrificed a lot for me to, and so many people supported me, and uh, throughout my career, and going to college, and like I'm grateful for all that. But it was just like, wow, I felt like I really turned my back on them for a long time when I had gone into entrepreneurship, because they took out student loans and they worked hard, you know so no one really talks about the pain that comes from that. And that was a legit pain I had for a while. And so anyways, and yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope you guys got some type of value from this video. Thank you all for tuning in and supporting the channel. I really, really, really strive to help, try to get to all of them, but sometimes they just stack up and I'm just like, oh man. But all right, guys, that is about it. I don't know how do I end this? Thank you all and have a great